The family relationship is undoubtedly an unbreakable bond, an infinite connection. Dozens of stories we have told here in which tears have passed down our cheeks because of the emotion of those anecdotes, of those tragic, sad, or even exciting moments that we have told and felt that feeling that our protagonist professes inside. In today's story, he speaks of the innocence of a child, of a little boy who, although he believes that the most special person he had in his life will return to be with him, however, we all know that after death you cannot return. How about if we find out a little more? Also, if you have not done so already, please subscribe to our channel and click that notification bell to get inspired by these real-life stories every day. Now, back to the story. This story tells the saddest and most overwhelming moment of a family from San Cristobal, Cuba, who are characterized by living very happily as they kept their lives in a constant game, having fun and making each other smile. They lived in a happy way, leading a quiet and peaceful life. The family consisted of a married couple with 2 children whose names were Keelan and Carol, 5 and 7 years old respectively. The brothers loved each other very much. They played all the time and helped each other in their daily tasks. Without a doubt, the relationship between brothers is unique, unrepeatable, and very special. That is how they described it. However, they did not know that everything was going to change from one moment to another. One day, their whole world would turn into a complete hell. Everything changed one day when the brothers were about to go to school. It turns out that Keelan, on his way out, took a marble he found on the floor and put it in his mouth. It was really a childish game. He was just a child, and he was not aware of the consequences of what that marble would do in his mouth. Carol, being the older brother and having a little more reasoning when he saw that, told him to give it to him because it was really big and he could possibly swallow it, or even worse, it would stay in his throat. But Keelan, instead of giving it to him, started laughing playfully. He thought it was a joke and that nothing bad could really happen. However, to his bad luck, Keelan swallowed the marble. Although everything had started as a childish game, poor Keelan ended up paying the consequences of not paying attention and being obedient. Keelan became desperate when he saw this, but he knew that the only person who could help him when he saw that he could not breathe was his mother. So running quickly to the house, he told her what happened. His desperate mother left everything she had in her hand and ran too. She arrived to where her little boy was. Keelan, who was desperate, did not know what to do. He was moving his arms from one side to the other without being able to breathe. While his skin took on a bluish hue, who could expect something like this? His mother didn't know what to do, so she applied the technique that anyone would do, the Heimlich maneuver, also known as the abdominal thrusts, which is a first aid procedure to unblock the airway, usually blocked by a piece of food or any other object. It's an effective technique to save lives in case of asphyxiation by choking. To perform it, you need the subject to be standing and thus to embrace him from behind with both arms. In this position, you must press with one hand closed and the other covering the fist, and then support the fist between the navel and chest and press in and up towards the center of the stomach. Your belly is thus compressed between the fist and the rescuer's body, which forms an upward pressure. This is a technique known worldwide and necessary to learn for cases like these, so the mother, knowing that this is an effective technique, resorted to apply it with her son. However, it was practically impossible. She had never practiced anything like this, and the object was too large. Seeing that she was not able to help her little boy, that the situation was getting more and more cloudy, she took her little boy to the hospital. While on the way, she tried to remove the object from his mouth manually, but she could not reach it. When they arrived at the nearest hospital, it was too late, and the point in which Keelan was, he did not have much time to be treated. From that day on, everything changed. The parents were completely shocked and felt sorry for what had happened, and blamed themselves for not being by their son's side at that moment. However, Carol, even though he was a very smart boy, did not know what happened when a person died. He only thought that his little brother was resting, and he always waited for him to finish sleeping so he could play with him. Certainly, he did not understand the tears in his parents' eyes, let alone why his brother was sleeping so much. What can you tell the child about death? Are there any instructions for it? How not to kill his precious innocence? Carol's parents decided to tell him everything as clearly as possible. It was better for him to know the truth than to wait for a return that would never come. When they finally told him that he would never see his brother again, let alone play with him, his countenance surprisingly did not change. He did not believe it. Still, he asked to see his brother. He wanted to see him wherever he was. His parents sadly agreed and took him to the cemetery. They commented some things to their son and ended up taking him to his brother. Carol became very sad and asked to return to the house immediately. When he arrived, he went as fast as possible to his room, and with a suitcase, he began to run from one side to another. When he had finished preparing it, he asked again to go to the cemetery. His parents did not understand what was happening, but even so, they wanted to please their son and took him again with his brother. When they were already in front of Keelan's grave, Carol smiled happily and approached the grave and took out his toys. Carol spent the whole afternoon playing there with his brother, screaming, running, moving his toys as he did on a normal day with Keelan. His mom and dad were shocked. Seeing that beautiful attitude of their son, they both appreciated that day with all their strength. They admired that beautiful smile and remembered that happy day with their two little ones. Carol approached his parents and told them that he was very happy because he had come to play with his brother. From that day on, Carol would go daily to play with his little brother. Wow, an incredible event, don't you think? Tell me what you thought about this beautiful story, and what do you think about it? I was really surprised. Children are innocent beings, and the purity of their souls is what they really need on this planet. Now tell me, did you like it as much as I did? If so, subscribe right now and turn on the little bell so you'll be informed when we'll be uploading another great video. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and consider sharing it with someone who may find it interesting. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one.